boy. So, I'm pretty beat. I'm pretty tired. Top of everything that's been happening over the last, I don't know, week or so, 2 weeks, I ended up getting a head cold. So I've been dealing with sinuses and just all the usual crap you don't like to deal with. And of course it's sticking around like everything else. But, that coupled with some, sleepless nights, just, waking up, can't get back to sleep kind of thing. I'm pretty beat. Yesterday we towed out the blue E36 M3, towed that up to my buddy and got that moved. And I still have the van and the trailer hooked up because today, at some point, at least I think it's going to be today, we're going to move some wheels. These are actually wheels and tires that are going to get sold in the sale. There's a motor, another stack of spares, some extra steel wheels, but whatever. I got to get the 914 out, and we got to get the Fox down. So I'll do a little walk around of the Fox and show you guys that thing. But on another note, I just been sort of trying to clean up a little bit, kind of organizing, getting rid of stuff, and getting ready for the sale, which is this coming Saturday. So it's going to be pretty hectic this week with everything going on. I still have this white Fiesta here. I goofed, my problem, everything going on. I wasn't thinking straight. Not to mention that they didn't really help me out with this one, but check this out. Looking at this disc, this is just some manufacturing print or whatever. Same thing on the other side. There's just a manufacturing print. There's nothing really obvious in the center. Same thing with this one. There's nothing really obvious in the center for markings. There's like a big long part number thing here, and then there's an AP logo, which this camera probably is not. Yeah, it's telling me focus failed. Probably not going to zoom in, but basically the short of it is that normally when you buy a clutch, or a clutch kit, it normally tells you which side of the clutch should be the right way. I mean, I know the right way regardless whether it says it or not, but with everything going on, he had only bought a clutch disc and a pressure plate. He did not buy a clutch kit, so we didn't have a clutch alignment tool. So I was scrambling for a clutch alignment tool. I found one that would work to sort of center it up, and I put it in to see how it would work. And then I was like, cool, send it. And we slapped on the pressure plate and just went with it. And I didn't pay attention to which side the hub of the clutch disc was on. And ultimately, we had to take it all back out because I put the clutch disc in backwards. And we broke the slave cylinder trying to bleed it. So, word to the wise, don't do that. It's just a dumb mistake on my part. It's the first time I've done something like this in quite a long time. It's got to be years. But anyway, so the short of it is, don't put the clutch disc in backwards. And when you do go to look for markings, make sure you read everything, because even something like this that starts with a part number, ends with a part number, has a bunch of stampings in it, whatever, it's very tiny, but you can't see it with this camera because it doesn't focus typically. Maybe this will focus. You see that part number? And then it says in the middle of the part number, transmission side. And then it continues on with the part number all the way that long. So, yeah. I missed that. We goofed. I had to wait for the slave cylinder and got one. And yeah, we're going to get this thing together. So we just took out everything from this spot and kind of moved it over here. So I'm going to give you guys a quick rundown on the famous Fox. So this is a custom made wide body. You can see the flares, both front and rear on this thing are pretty pretty squared off, pretty stellar. It's pretty awesome, these box flares. The rear box here, I'll get into that in a second, but basically this is a 2.8 liter V6 Passat with a Quattro 4000 drivetrain, Quattro 5000 hubs to run the 5-lug stuff. But rear mount radiator, so that's what these inner ducts are. These ducts right here go to, and I'm actually going to go to the other side. But those ducts there, you can see here, go right up and into the back here, and then there's a rear mount radiator setup on this thing where there's some fans in there, and it comes out that way. But check out the presence on this thing. It's just so sick, so wide in the rear for what was such a tiny little car. Lexan, everything, right? Old cage, old cage, right? The last time this car ran, I want to say it was like 03, something like that, like 2003. My buddy Jose Vicente drove it, and open up this hood and get some fiberglass here. So I don't have a hood prop here in this car, but I'll give you a quick glimpse of the engine. So it's like a 2.8 Passat V6. It had twin turbos on it at one point. Car made insane power. It sounded insane. There's no drivetrain in it right now. It's just a clutch there. But, you know, the main workings of the car are all here still. And it's pretty sweet. It's a full custom fiberglass hood thingy. And it's got these tiny little like snow tires on it right now. Super narrow. And yeah, the wing, we were just looking at the wing. The wing is actually like metal, aluminum, but the uprights are actually wood, which I thought was interesting. I've never looked at it close enough to check that out, but we'll open up the back, and you can see here a little bit better the radiator ducting here, some fans, and then you got your triangle box, and then your fire extinguisher from 2003. But yo, it's still good. It's still good. Look at that. I think it'll pass tech. First aid kit, and then it's how you fill the coolant. But yeah, overall, like, super cool car. And unfortunately, it's leaving my presence, and we are likely not going to be restoring this thing anytime soon. So as much as we were hoping that the owners were gonna say, hey, screw it, put a whole bunch of money into it, which doesn't make any sense. Excuse me. Just doesn't make any sense. That's really what it comes down to, you know. So, but yeah, man, it's the famous Fox. If you like what you see, like, share, subscribe. I think that's what they say. And if you can, comment. We'd love to interact with our fans, our customers. You know, it's pouring outside. But yeah, hit the like button, hit the share, subscribe, get it to your friends. Let's get this stuff around.